Okay, I'm here with Dawud Ahmad. He is the registered agent of Muslim America. Could you give us a little background on your organization?
When I discovered Islam, when God guided me to Islam, I read the Quran and I said, wow, this is what the people out in Oregon and California are missing from their social enterprises. We came out here to establish a faith community that would embrace Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, anybody who has a faith, a belief, and a reliance, mainly a reliance on God.
Do you consider this like a sanctuary then?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Just about everybody who comes here feels it.
Sure. Now, the reason that I became aware of you was because of recent news article about you're housing a homeless person in an outbuilding here on the property, and you've had a little trouble with the town of Springdale. Could you give a little detail on that?
Well, we had our prayer leader is a certificated English teacher, and he'd been looking for a permanent position in this area for 8 years, during which time he'd been working as a substitute, and didn't have the money to pay first and last month's security deposit. And of course, in the summertime, there's no work for a substitute teacher over here. So we looked into law and found out that we could convert a building. It was a building that was originally designed for some other use. We could use it to house an indigent person or indigent persons. And the burden on the town at that point was to come out and check to be sure that it didn't threaten life, health, or safety. It doesn't have to have all the amenities that make building a new house so expensive these days. In other words, the building code goes way beyond protecting life, health, and safety. It goes to comfort and modernity and all kinds of things that make the developers rich. But the Supreme Court of the state of Washington, on a number of cases, has said that strict enforcement of the building code requirements it's not a compelling state interest. So churches can conduct grade schools in their basements, even if it doesn't meet the fire codes, if it doesn't threaten life, health, or safety. But then one of our neighbors said, apparently called in, said, there's smoke coming out of the chimney, there must be somebody living there. So this town council, that they all think they're wearing some kind of a badge, said, well, he can't be living there. And the idea behind the building code laws is to safeguard the lives, health, and safety of the occupants and users of buildings. For this town, it's a revenue source.
Do you see yourself being targeted for your religious affiliation, or think you've been treated fairly?
The religious prejudice in this town, like in every other town, is, oh, you're not a Presbyterian, I can't trust you, you're not saved. There's no anti-Muslim factor here. One of our political opponents from the 90s, after 9/11 happened, he ran into me in the parking lot at the post office. And he said, Dawud, we know that wasn't you. We know you had nothing to do with that. Don't worry about it.
So it seems like you know a lot about the law. Have you gone to school for law?
Yes, I have, but not in an American recognized certified law school. I hold a degree in law that you can't get in America.
Are you aware of how much money that the town has spent to try?
The town is not aware of how much money is spent.
Why do you think they're spending so much money?
They're spending so much money for a very simple reason. The lawyer wants the money. If they had gotten the correct legal counsel, they would have passed an ordinance, spent the money for a 2-inch ad in the legal news, in a Shawila paper, And that's how much it would have cost them for the price of a 2-inch ad.
What outcome would you like to see when it's all said and done?
I'd like to see the town get their money back from the attorneys.
What do you think the outcome will be?
Going to court, at least in Spokane, is kind of like throwing the dice. You never know what's going to happen. So I can't say what I think is going to happen.
Well, good luck to you, Dawud, and thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
I don't know. I started asking around. A lot of people didn't see that we were on television. Town was on television. You were on television last Thursday. So I made some copies. I made some discs that have that video on it. That's the video of the Crown 2 news report. And I definitely would like to know: are you receiving any invoices from Riley on the Supreme Court work? And if not, I'd like to know why not. So I say it's a great relief to me to be out of the courtroom where Riley owns the judge, where she denied us standing, didn't hear our application, just threw us out of court without even considering that we were arguing a constitutional violation. Now we're out of that court, we're on the Supreme Court ground where they actually practice law and politics.